Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Before we get into this one, if you could just hit that big red button down below, that would massively help me out because we're trying to get to 10k next. Today's video though is going to be about Jayden Bogle, who has just signed from Sheffield United. Today was scheduled to be a video about another replacement for Glenn Kamara in the midfield, but that video has now been pushed back to tomorrow at 12 o'clock, so go and check that one out when it comes out. Today's video though had to be about our newest signing, Jayden Bogle from Sheffield United. A fee believed to be in the region of £5 million. Leeds' initial bid was supposedly around £3.5 million, and Sheffield United wanted £7 million, and reportedly Leeds have met in the middle and have offered £5 million that has been accepted, and Jayden Bogle is now at Leeds United. He's done his first interview and those things and talked about what type of player he is. So today we're going to talk about what you might be able to expect from Jayden Bogle. Now, Jayden Bogle is 23 years old, very, very close to being 24 years old. His birthday is next week. And so he is going to be 24 years old coming into a season where he's going to have a lot expected on him because he's played over 50 Premier League appearances and he's played over 100 championship games as well. And he's only 23, just about to turn 24. So that is a good amount of experience under his belt for a young player. He's had one major injury, that was back in 2022, and that kept him out for a total of 31 games, I think it was, over a lot of days. So that's one major thing, and that was a knee injury. But other than that, he seems to have been on a pretty steady trajectory to get that many games by the age he is. Chris Wilder himself wasn't very happy with this, which does make us Leeds fans enjoy this transfer a little bit more because of the hate he's shown towards Patrick Bamford and some other Leeds type things in the past, of comments that he's made and stuff, and just how he's a little bit of a big baby. But Jayden Bogle, then, let's have a talk about him. So last season in the Premier League, he scored 3 goals, got no assists, but he did score some goals against some really big clubs, or, well, let me rephrase that, against some really good teams, because Manchester City was one of the teams that he scored against, and he scored a really, really good goal against them in the 85th minute at the Etihad to equalise. We're going to have a little bit of a look at his statistics and then talk about what type of player he is. So, in the last 365 days, and this is comparing him to similar players in similar leagues. So, bear in mind when we look at these statistics, usually when I'm looking at a championship player, like a Stuart Armstrong, for example, yesterday's video, he's being compared to the championship and similar leagues. Jayden Bogle would be being compared to the Premier League and similar leagues as well. So when you look at his non-penalty goals, that was that 3 last season, that puts him in the 84th percentile. So the top 16% of fullbacks in the top 5 leagues in Europe for scoring goals. Took a decent amount of shots for a fullback as well, so it shows that he likes to get high and get in the box. So shots total 1.03 per 90 puts him in the 83rd percentile. It's really good for a fullback that gets forward and gets on the end of things, overlapping, underlapping, making runs inside the box and trying to get on the end of things. His assists and shot creating actions and stuff were down quite low. Well, really low considering. But when you actually think about it, how bad was Sheffield United last season in the Premier League? They were really, really poor, and they didn't manage to create enough chances to keep them in the Premier League. So he was not going to be massively contributing towards that. Now, this one's quite funny, but it's not going to be too relevant. Passes attempted, 31.25. That puts him in the 1st percentile. So he's in the bottom 1% of players compared to him for passes attempted. Now, this is because Sheffield United had no possession whatsoever. It doesn't mean that you can't make passes. So if you look at these statistics and go, hold on a sec, that doesn't seem right, it's just because of the team he was playing, and you've got to bear that in mind, that they were really, really poor last season and they didn't even get the chance to play the ball around. Not that Wilder would have had them playing good football anyway. Successful take-ons, though, even though they barely had the ball, they barely made passes, a lot of the time he would try and get that ball down the line himself and take somebody on and break the lines and be able to then go forward with it with his teammates. So successful take-ons, 0.81 per 90, which puts him in the 60th percentile, so a little bit above average for being able to take players on. and touches in the attacking penalty area, regardless of how badly Sheffield United played, this is still quite a good statistic. 1.78 per 90 puts him in the 71st percentile. That's probably a little bit higher than some of our midfielders from last season. So for a fullback to be able to do that, somebody who can play right wing back and right back, that's very interesting. Speaking of which, before we go into his defensive statistics, which is where he shines, Daniel Farke played a 3 at the back against Harrogate Town. If you didn't watch that game, I didn't, but I saw the highlights. Leeds won 3-0. Goals from... why have I put myself on the spot to remember who the goals are from? The goals are from... there was a youth player, and then there was Junior Firpo and Jorginho, and I really can't remember the youth player. So somebody credit the youth player down below, because I feel bad for not mentioning his name, but somebody put it in the comments, and then everybody will see who it was. The point is, Daniel Farke played a 3 at the back with wing-backs at times. So Jayden Bogle is no stranger to playing at wing-back, and neither is Junior Firpo. So that could really really help us if we've got flying wing-backs in this system. Then you've got 2 in midfield, and then you've got 3 up top as well. So that could be a solution to this team, but it could just be another way we can play. But it means that our players can shift around and play in that formation. And I think Jayden Bogle comes in and strengthens us in that aspect. Now we're going to go on to his attacking statistics. So tackles, interceptions, blocks, clearances, and aerials won. Now, tackles and interceptions, 2.13 tackles per 90 and 1.03 interceptions per 90 puts him in the 61st and 65th percentile. So that's quite a bit over the average, which is pretty good. Then his blocks, 1.36, it puts him in the 69th percentile. Shows that he's got a good little bit of position and he knows where to be to block lines of sight towards goal and stuff. So good little bit of a footballing brain, a defender's brain on him. You can tell by that. Now the places where he really shines is clearances and aerials won. Clearances, 3.13 per 90, puts him in the 90th percentile, so the top 10%. Obviously, they were defending a lot, so they had to make a lot of clearances, but he was there in the right place at the right time to get them away, so that can only be a good thing for us, having somebody who can get the ball away. And I mentioned in previous videos about how we haven't had much of a sort of aerial threat, whether that be attacking corners or defending any set pieces. It's invaluable to have somebody in your team who can do that sort of thing. And Jayden Bogle with 1.61 aerials won per 90 puts him in the 89th percentile, so the top 11% compared to all of the similar leagues. So that's very good for us, clearing corners, clearing free kicks, being able to defend properly in these situations. So that's something that really goes in his favour. Now, when you look at FBref, which is a website I get a lot of my statistics from, it actually compares each of these statistics to other players, and it tells you basically who they're the most similar to. So when you actually look at fullback similar to Jayden Bogle over the last 365 days, it compares to Vitaly Mikalenko from Everton. It compares to Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth, Dan Burn from Newcastle United, Diogo Dalot from Scum, and a few players from the French league as well and the German league. Decent players. Now, none of these are complete world beaters, but the fact that this player we're signing is similar in his statistics to those players and is dropping down to the Championship can only be a good thing. And hopefully he's kind of getting above that level of a regular Championship player and really contributing towards us and our push for promotion. Now, when you look at his entire history, obviously he spent a lot of time at Derby County, and yes, let's address that. He did do the binoculars celebration on the pitch after they knocked us out of the playoffs, but at the time he would have been, 18, 19? Also, who cares? I mean, if that was Leeds, we'd have been doing the exact same thing. Like, Victor Orta literally did it in the stands and was doing it. Obviously, Victor Orta is not in the best graces of the Leeds United fans, but regardless, players do stupid things. It doesn't really matter, does it? He'll be doing it to somebody else for us now. And he probably never thought he'd be playing for us. 2017, 2018, all the way to 2023-24, go through his season. 17-18, 2 goals, 0 assists. 18-19, 2 goals, 7 assists. 19-20, 1 goal, 5 assists. 2021, this is when he moved to Sheffield United, 2 goals, 0 assists. Next season, 3 goals, 1 assist. Next season, 2 goals, 1 assist. Next season, 3 goals, 0 assists. So he's not ever contributed a massive amount, but it is a little bit towards your end of season total of assists and goals. It's a little bit that helps. It's something that we didn't have from our fullbacks. I think Sam Byram scored 1 goal from a header off a corner, and Firpo maybe chipped in with a couple, but having Bogle come in and be able to chip in with a few more goals and a little bit more attacking threat, you'd like to imagine in a team like Leeds, he might be able to contribute a little bit more towards those attacking phases. As he comes into this team who are going to dominate the ball a little bit. So his own sort of assessment of himself is that he likes to get forward, he likes to overlap, he likes to be able to get the ball and cut it back across the box. He likes to be able to set up himself in good positions to do one-on-one defending. So that's one of his strengths, is his defence as well, which is always good. So he's a bit of an all-rounder, good at going forward, good at defending. Very happy with this signing for £5 million. You can't really fault it. Premier League proven player. And I think he's going to come in and do really, really good things for Leeds. He's travelling out with the squad to Germany to play in those pre-season friendlies. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. I know there's going to be replays of them, so I might watch them back and see how everybody gets on, and then that can be some more videos for you talking about and analysing some of the way that the players have played and the teams played. So yeah, Jayden Bogle has now signed for Leeds United. Look out for the third part of the Glenn Kamara replacement tomorrow at 12. But as for now, thanks for watching Leeds Lately, and I'll see you in the next one.